Welcome back to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton. My name's Connor Williams, and we're back with an immediate match reaction video on the Everton Manchester United game that's just finished 3-0 to Manchester United. Just give my thoughts and feelings about it. Um, Obviously, I think because of what's been going on since the last time we played Premier League football and the protests and stuff that were planned today, I think we hoped that it would be a bit of a bear pit for United, and I think we hoped that the intensity that the fans were showing would resonate on the pitch. Um, and I think a couple of people had let that slightly run a little bit, myself included. I thought before the 10-point deduction that this could be a game we could win because I don't think United are all that, to be honest. And then with that, I thought, oh, moody atmosphere as well. But problem is a moody atmosphere is as good as it lasts, uh, and it lasted all of 3 minutes before Garnacho scored what is probably and quite rightfully potentially goal of the season. It's a really phenomenal overhead kick. The way he struts, times his strut before he does. He fully intends to hit it with as clean connection as he can, and there's just no stopping it. And it was a stunning goal, and I'm not going to take that away from him, because you can't. It was a stunning goal, but it did sort of. I think it's fair to say it killed the crowd a little bit, stunned and killed them a little bit. Quite rightly, I think once it went in, I think people thought we've seen this script before. We then went on a bit of we did eventually get into the game, and when we did, my God, it could have been 4-0, 4-1 at half time. In the 40th minute, it could have been 4-all, 4-1, sorry. Dominic Calvert-Lewin had a glaring chance unmarked that Onana saved. Anywhere but straight at the keeper, that's a goal. Decore had a couple of chances. There was that one that was pushed off the line. There was just a flurry of 10 minutes where we were 10, 20 minutes, I'd say, where we were all over them. And even then it was a bit worrying. But yeah, just couldn't hit a barn door. You could have left us there as well. It's one of those, we were close, we were really close throughout, and our XG was better than theirs. But when you watch it, you just got the feeling you could have play this game from now all the way to next Saturday, and we're not scoring. It was really frustrating. I think the blame will be put in certain places by certain people. I think many people will blame Ashley Young, which we're about to get onto. As much as it's Ashley Young, and I'll get onto this, as much as Ashley Young deserves half, maybe some of the blame, got to be on the attacking players as well. If you don't score, Ashley Young giving away the penalty, that is bad. That killed the game off. But what game? We were never going to score, it looked like. So the attackers need to be better for me. Shouldn't be missing this many when we're creating this many chances and missing this many. I'm starting to think maybe we don't have the foot. Maybe the front isn't very good. Well, not isn't very good because I think we know that. I think we know we're a Dominic Calvert-Lewin injury away from being in real danger. But I just think we lack a bit of attacking quality. Decore in that role, fantastic player, does really well in it. I think he had a good chance that he could have finished. Maybe it was one of those days, maybe it's one of those days where you're just not at the races. But for me, the forwards missed far too many chances, which come back and bite you in the end, and it did. The penalty is a penalty. If you're at the game and maybe you don't get the luxury of replays, so maybe at the game in the moment you're probably thinking, "Oh no, there's a dive." You'll hopefully have watched this when you're back at home and rewatched it. Definitely a penalty. It's really sloppy by Ashley Young, who's already on a yellow, and I think if there wasn't the simulation and the revoking of the yellow card, possibly he goes. It's very much shades of Anfield earlier on with Ashley Young. It's sloppy defending once again. He doesn't need to stick it out because Tarkowski's coming, but he sticks it out anyway. It's a really, really half-arsed tackle, if I'm going to be completely honest, and gives away a penalty. And Rashford, I mean, good penalty, good penalty, hard in the left on his left-hand side to Pickford's right. Interesting that they switched Bruno Fernandes, gave the ball to Rashford. Don't know if that's because they're aware keepers all, I think, keep notes, but Jordan Pickford notoriously keeps his notes on his bottle. Maybe they think change it up a bit, but then saying that, maybe not, because to be honest, Rashford's his fellow countryman. He knows where Rashford mainly puts his pens anyway. Um, and then the third goal, it was coming at some point, wasn't it, Martial? It was a nice chip over the keeper. It was a nice little dink. I think at that point, once the second had gone in, I think the players had fully done sort of attitude. I think they were like down the tools. It was coming up to the 70th minute. I think they were like, "Nah, we're not winning this. What's the point?" Sort of attitude, which is a shame. But I mean, they're not going to win it at that point. And we need really, now we've got the 10-point deduction. I can't help but think that the weight has been knocked out of people's sails. Fans, players, everyone at the club. I think it's really had a domino effect. So then when you see a second goal go in like that, Ashley Young once again, I think the players reacted to how the fans and probably how the staff felt of all those chances. Listen, when your luck's in, your luck's in. When it's not, it's not. This hasn't been a good week for Everton with the points deductions, the appeal that we've still not heard anything about, but I'm not holding much of a breath. The last two seasons we've narrowly escaped, and I'm not going to say reactionary stuff because I hate when people do that, but we narrowly escaped it. The bad running of the club has come back to bite us with the financial fair play stuff. The 10 points we've covered, it's incredibly severe. I'm hoping they knock a couple of them off for our sake as a club. But it just felt like that accumulation of everything coming into this week. It was just a bad week for us. Luck wasn't on our side here. Like I said, we could have been 4-1 up at half time. Yeah, it's just one of them, I think, really unlucky. And Paul, I think the forwards need to be doing a bit better personally. But just unlucky as well. That goal from Garnacho, fantastic goal. He's not going to score one of them again as cleanly as that this season, if ever. That's a moment. You know, that's not so much like it is skill, but like that's one of those moment goals. Like I don't know how much it'll be. People are comparing it to Rooney. I'd argue, although technically Garnacho's is better, Rooney's is probably probably beats it in sentiment because he scored against City. That was a real moment that the Premier League use on highlights still when they're trying to when Sky are trying to resell the other packages. They use that on the sports one still. Sky Sports use it for the Manchester Derby still. That's a fantastic one, but Garnacho's goal technically I think is better. It's brilliant. He doesn't score them every week, and he's not going to. That's just a really brilliant goal. 3 minutes in, knocks the wind right out your sails. That the flurry, they maintain the flurry. I do wish we'd pushed and pressed their back line more earlier on. Don't think that Onana has quite yet learned that players in the Premier League will press high up the field, and you can't be doing some of the stuff he gets away with. There was one point in the second half, he dropped the ball right in front of Decore and he just kicked it in time. And it's like, you are playing with fire against a more, a quicker forward. Their back line, I don't think, is the best playing the ball out either. It's interesting Ten Hag sticking with that. Yeah, listen, it was United as well. They are still have a very decent team. But I just think it was an accumulation of a bad week. Forest next week, hopefully. It's a team that Sean Dyche watches quite a bit because he's from around there. On his time off, he was watching Forest. They're a good team, Forest, and they managed to pick up results when they need it. I just hope that Sean Dyche should know them a little bit more than some managers do. Alas, though, I don't know, away at Forest, I don't know. But realistically, we need to win that because we've got Newcastle. We've got someone else who's tough in the week, in the next couple as well, and then we've got Burnley again. Needs to be beating Burnley. it definitely now the 10 points has really knocked this wind out of everyone's sail. If we'd still had the 14, I'd be coming on here going, yeah, disappointing that, but oh well. Now it's disappointing that, and as much as I'm trying, like I said, I'm fighting back the reaction. I'm not one of those who's like we're going down because I didn't believe it up until the last 2 weeks of last season. Um, and I won't, believe it till till the red R is next to our name. I don't think it's done till it's done, but every loss is going to feel harder now. Every win is going to feel better, but better but tainted. And every draw will feel tainted now because we need the points back quickly to reassure fans. So every loss is now going to feel 10 times worse. Every win is slightly tainted by, yeah, brilliant, but we need more. And every draw will have that tint of, oh, there's 2 points, regardless of who it's against. Oh, that's 2 points, wasted. So it's just a shame. Hopefully, it gets overturned. We're not going to be able to, like, as much as we feel hard done by. We can't, cry about it all season. We, as in the club, the players, to an extent, the fans, we are going to have to. If the appeal says no, they're stuck like that. We are going to have to just get over it and try and stay up against the odds, which is irritating and infuriating. But one of them, it's not done till it's done. Let's quickly reroute, which I think a lot of us are around that mindset now. But yeah, it's just really disappointing. So that's all I've got time for. If you like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and comment down below your thoughts. Look forward to reading them.